Okay. I think we all are basically aware of the kind of desperate situation your characters are in, but that you have made a pretty good job of it right now. That there is this effectively some sort of suborbital craft, some sort of vehicle. Um, Not that your characters know what orbit is, but there's this vehicle, which strangely is, of course, in a roofed cavern. So it's not like it can go anywhere. But the floor is artificial. The floor is technological. Somebody has made this floor, and perhaps some of the walls still show some support. But the place that you came in was, remember, a rough tunnel with rocks and things. And so it was not, a corridor or anything like that connected with this place. And it entered at the middle of the wall. Remember, there's the drop.
Mm-hmm.
So if I remember correctly, your little car that you rode here in is still at the top of that opening.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of that opening is where the two of you had your adventures with the web gun and many other things. And
very successful.
Fairly surprised, actually, at how well that turned out, considering how badly it was going just until then. So, to remind you, the two of you have managed to activate certain systems in this craft so that it is ventilated. There is some lighting, and you had located old survival gear, which allows you to eat something. But all of you are certainly fairly stressed. I don't think any of you took any damage. There are no wounds.
I'm only stunned.
Right. Right. Yeah, and because you had taken some of that concussive blast from the Seeker.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I'm not damaged at all.
Now, the damage that a Seeker does hits you for a certain amount, and it's 3 times your success level. And it only got 1 success. So it did 3 wounds to that guy, which was not enough to kill him outright. But according to this, the wounds are so nasty that they continue.
Continue. How we take it back later?
No. Now once it's fallen, we can't think of anything else. It has to come up. Right. So the issue is that that he would continue to take wounds, and that was the condition he was in when you brought him in there into the craft, and yet calling upon your collective memory from all these years of being in the hive, you actually were able to stop the bleeding so that he can actually live, which was kind of incredible, actually. So you have, he is unconscious again because the stun and the wounds have crossed, and that probably will stay that way for some time. And I also think that we've had a very interesting set of interactions. You are speaking or sending telepathically. All of you have managed to do this, I think. I'm not sure if you have spoken outright, but everybody else has. And also, you have been able to block off the others when you want. Yep. And everybody is now aware that there is a very strange sensation in this little community, which is that you're disagreeing about something, which is unfamiliar to you as an experience. You have 2 who are saying we are not going back to the hive. We are the hive now. And we have you, at least, who at this point was saying we have to fix this terrible, terrible mistake and get back to the hive. And then we have somebody who is attempting very hard not to cast her vote in that question. But I think that just there's no reason to continue this as an argument to resolve at the moment. This is just the state of interaction among you. What was the ability that you made up?
I want a refocus ability. As you know, as you remind last time, I'm going in cycle.
Ah, yes.
So I want a way to break the cycle
Okay.
and start to think about something else without input from outside.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So to reorient, to refocus. Yeah.
Last time
Yeah.
it was a mass character that just forced me to go back on another subject.
Right.
I want to try to do that on my own.
That's interesting. Okay, so go ahead and write it down.
Can I
And
forward?
it is no experience points to get
Yes.
it because of the cleverness roll. But if you want to make it a focus ability, then you spend 3 points. And so then, did anybody else want to spend points, or did you do it already, or
I spent on medicine.
you did? Okay.
Yeah. You spend on.
Okay.
I've decided to
Just
spend
keep
more
running
of them to downgrade that piloting.
I see. Okay.
Makes me more comfortable.
And then your focus changes then.
Because you wanted to take.
Yes, to 6.
Oh, you went down.
Yeah.
Okay.
In some way, I want to honor that I'm still trying to figure out this new state.
Right. All right. In that case, we have, first of all, just some time for everybody to perhaps rest. It's been very stressful, or to work on something, or to think about something. It might be good at this point. I'd reminded everybody that we do have the archivist's data bank, portable data bank and everything right there in that little vehicle that she arrived in. You didn't know about that, Max.
No.
The archivists often don't operate very physically. They just lie there in their pods, thinking, remembering, processing data and stuff like that. And so when this little team came out here on their task, their assigned task, the archivist had a little sort of car. I thought of it as kind of a cross between a hospital bed and a motorcycle in its construction. And to get down that cliff, to come down into this area, the two of them worked together with telekinesis to lift her down, but they weren't strong enough to bring that down at the same time. And then things got confusing. And so the little car is still stuck up there.
It's probably not a problem if you can teleport things.
That's true.
We didn't know that at that point. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, teleporting big things like that's kind of hard. It says it's something you can carry. That was not a carryable object.
If I am kind of like wearing it in a way,
I don't think that thing is a problem right now.
All I have to say is that there's lots and lots of data and hookups that are specialized to your character. So just before we all start trying to solve the problem, I'm just start talking about what is there. And you also know, you have also seen now, the two of you have seen the dingoes, the dogs, the wild dogs. And so you know that they are out there, and you probably have communicated this terrifying little floating robot orb that explodes people.
We saw that.
Yeah.
So 2 reasons not to go out there, 1 reason to go out there. Not going out there.
Right. Math. Okay, so that is excellent. We have your situation, I think, is set up here. I am going to open it up a little bit, and maybe we should just permit some generalized time rather than go minute by minute or turn by turn, just to see what people are doing and what they may be concerned with.
How much time has gone? We talked last time. I think we talked about we would be able to rest.
Rest and eat. Yeah.
We didn't find anything to drink, right?
We only found those cookies.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they
yeah.
were dry.
They needed water, but
Yeah.
we didn't have water.
Water
Yeah,
is an
so
issue.
we have a problem.
Mhm. And the I don't think it is unreasonable to think that one character was packing some kind of necessary supply, and I actually
The catering service.
that's right. But to be clear, and not that I'm trying to get you to do anything about this, but it would be logical that they would not send you off to go do something without water.
That's true.
That's what I mean.
But it may well be up there.
That's
on a
and the
certain
bulk
database.
of it, like one of the
Probably is.
plastic,
Yeah.
camper square water things with the cap, on the upper surface.
How far can you teleport?
I don't know. How far?
Okay.
I mean, because if
Endlessly far.
because if you can teleport
So if
up
we
there
rest that
without
everybody
going out,
can remove
pretty-
all those stunts, right?
I think so. Let me double
Okay.
check on the stun
Mhm.
situation. There we go. Life and damage. Finally. Okay. So yes, of each point of stun requires a full hour of rest for the character to recover. So unless you do something that captures our attention in the next couple of hours of game time, you can erase all this stuff.
Mm.
So unless you desperately want to do something that you say, no, I want to do this right now, then we can just close that. So that you are free to do that if you want.
the only
Yeah, I mean, if you allow us.
thing.
That's more of it. Like if there are some dingoes, like.
Well, that's what I was
The door is closed, so
And there's a
we don't
ladder
have
up
to-
there, and
we don't have to worry about anything right now. I don't think
That
we
we-
can force.
that-
That's a
No.
very confident thing to say. I wasn't
Yeah.
quite going to put it that definitely,
Yeah.
but you're right.
You
There
were
is
just
nothing
going to-
obvious.
Yes.
The light.
Nothing that we
comes
know of.
in, or whatever. There's something inside.
Mhm.
A ghost.
Do we need to sleep?
Oh yeah.
Is there rooms in this facility?
Not really. There's this was not intended to be a living craft. You did not. This is not like a spacecraft that goes for months or something like that.
So we cannot
Frankly, it's a shuttle.
But is there any space that we can lock in the hurt soldier in?
Yes, there are. I don't know about lock him in, but there are places where you can put him where he won't be.
He's dead.
No,
Okay.
he's alive. We saved him last time, kind of.
He is okay. Yes, is the answer to your question for what your purpose is,
Mhm.
but it is not quite as easy as just saying, "Oh, well, here is a room for locking people up in. Let's put him in it."
No.
It's more of just there are lots of different little cupboards and spaces and places to put things, shelves and stuff,
Mm.
storage compartments and things. You could, if you want to close him into something, you can. If you just want to put him somewhere that you're pretty sure he's not going to come out of easily, that's possible too.
If I can make some sort of bed
Yeah.
for him and to put it in, and
Mhm.
if I can, if I'm going to keep an eye on him
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the rest of the time, but
Makes sense. Yeah.
But if I can make it harder for him to attack if he
Yeah.
becomes aggressive again, that would be a plus. But
Probably the most important thing, because you're a soldier and you know how this works, is to take the ammunition out of his arm.
I thought I didn't know how to do that. Okay, then I take off all. I mean, everything I can take away from him, I take.
Well, the gun, of course, is part of his body.
Yeah.
But you can make sure that it's not going to shoot anybody.
Can we take? Could any of you, take away the knife that he had? He had like a bayonet.
I don't have. But yeah, mechanics maybe.
Mhm.
I can try.
Yeah.
Mechanics one. Nope.
Oh, no.
That's a pretty bad failure.
That's true. That's the About
I
the
probably
worst
could
roll.
cut myself on the
Yeah.
meantime.
it's probably I think probably what you discover is that you can't really tell how to deact. You would need a breeder, I think, somebody who actually would know how to deal with both the biology and the cybernetics, right? So, in fact, all of you are probably wondering, breeders take care of you. They, see to your needs. They patch you up. They make babies. Breeders are great, and it's kind of, and I think more than one of you is kind of looking over your shoulder. There still isn't a breeder. What's wrong, right? So anyway, that's your situation. How about some other things? That makes sense. But anything else before we kind of move into after sleeping time?
I want to sleep as little as possible and go back to the mechanical understanding of whatever is going on around me.
Okay. All right. Well, you didn't take any wounds or damage or anything, so
I had 4 stun.
Right.
So
but after 4 hours, you are feeling okay. I think that I will penalize you for not sleeping at all, but if you do that. But if you have napped and rested for 4 hours, I think you are probably okay for a while. So if you want to, however, I'm not just going to roll until I tell Nathan something. We need to have a somewhat more concrete idea of what you are attempting.
Sure.
And at the moment, you have activated this
Lights.
ship as much as you can.
I think we still should find a way to have light outside.
Yeah, but I broke that. I couldn't try again. It will be dumb. Ventilation is done. Light is done. Engine, I try. Do we have electronics now? Computer. I don't have electronics now. I got that last time, so maybe my understanding of electronics is better now that I can try to get more than I didn't get last time.
I think that's fine. And also you are not in quite as desperate and complicated a situation with all these strange impulses coming in and things as you were before. So that's probably true.